Flight attendant drags a black girl down the aisle by her hair, and moments later her sister films it live while their CEO dad watches from London. But what this veteran flight attendant said to two children flying alone will make you question whether we've moved forward at all since the days when black people had to sit at the back of the plane. Unaccompanied minors shouldn't be flying if they can't control themselves. This is completely unacceptable behavior. Flight attendant Donna Reichert stands in the aisle of Flight 1847 from New York to Miami, her voice loud enough for the entire cabin to hear, pointing down at 13-year-old Kenzie Osei and her 9-year-old sister Kenzie like they're criminals instead of children who just had an accident. The words hit Nia like a physical slap, her hands trembling as she holds napkins trying to clean up the apple juice her little sister spilled, her face burning with shame not because of what happened but because of how this white woman is treating them in front of everyone. Kenzie is already crying, shrinking into her seat, her small body shaking with fear and humiliation, and Nia knows she has to protect her sister, has to stay calm, has to be the responsible one even though she's only 13 and terrified. Here's what people don't want to admit in 2025. Racism didn't die when airlines integrated, it didn't disappear when we elected a black president, it didn't fade away with viral videos and protests and promises of change. It evolved and learned to hide behind customer service policies and safety protocols, and I'm just doing my job, and in some ways that makes it more insidious than the open segregation of the past, because now when black children are traumatized, people can claim it was just one bad employee, just one unfortunate incident, just one person having a bad day instead of the systemic dehumanization it actually is. Nia isn't surprised by Donna's hostility. She's shocked, yes, because you're never quite prepared for an adult to speak to you with such contempt over spilled juice. But surprised? No, this is her reality as a black child in America, the teacher who assumed she plagiarized her essay because it was too well written, the store security guard who followed her and Kenzie assuming they were shoplifting, the soccer referee who called more fouls on her than anyone else on the field. Each time the same pattern, the same immediate assumption of wrongdoing, the same message that black children don't deserve patience or grace or the benefit of doubt. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Nia's voice comes out smaller than she wants. It was an accident, I'll clean it up right away, we didn't mean to cause any trouble. Donna snatches the napkins from Nia's hands with unnecessary force. You don't touch airline property, sit down and don't move, both of you need to learn some respect and discipline. Around them other passengers watch with uncomfortable expressions, some already pulling out phones to record, sensing something wrong is happening but nobody speaking up, nobody challenging this woman's authority, nobody willing to risk confrontation to defend two black children being humiliated. An hour passes, an hour where Donna escalates from harsh words to active punishment, confiscating Kenzie's tablet, refusing bathroom access, making loud comments to other flight attendants about undisciplined children who shouldn't be allowed to fly alone, each action designed to shame and control, each moment pushing Nia closer to breaking. Ma'am, please, Nia finally says when Kenzie is squirming desperately in her seat. My sister really needs to use the bathroom. She's been holding it for over an hour. Donna leans down close to Nia's face, her breath hot, her eyes cold. You don't tell me what to do, little girl. I run this cabin. You sit down and be quiet until I say otherwise. Minutes later, Kenzie wets herself, 9 years old and crying hysterically with shame, and Nia wraps her jacket around her sister's waist trying to preserve some dignity, trying to get her to the bathroom to clean up. Donna blocks the aisle, her body a wall of authority. Where do you think you're going? If you believe no child should be dragged by their hair for spilling juice, keep watching. If you think airline abuse of black passengers ended decades ago, you need to see what happens when this assault goes live. And if you've ever been treated like you're less than human because of your skin color, drop a comment and tell us your story. We're reading everyone. Tell us where you're watching from and what time it is right now. This story doesn't end the way you think. Hit that like button if you stand against child abuse and subscribe because we're exposing the racism that airlines don't want you to see. Nia looks up at Donna, tears streaming down her face, her voice shaking with desperation and rising anger. She's 9 years old. You wouldn't let her use the bathroom. This is your fault. Donna's face hardens into something ugly, final. That's it. You're being disruptive and insubordinate. and what she does next will be captured on camera and seen by millions, including one very powerful father who's about to rain hell down on everyone involved. But to understand how two young girls ended up at the center of a viral assault that would shake an entire airline, you need to know who Nia and Kenzie Osei really are, and more importantly, you need to understand why this New Year's Eve flight to Miami represents everything their parents have worked to build for them despite a world that constantly tells black children they don't belong. Nia Osei is 13 years old, 8th grade at Brooklyn Academy of Excellence, honor roll student who loves creative writing and dreams of being a journalist like Ida B. Wells. She's responsible beyond her years, the kind of kid who triple-checks flight times and gate numbers, who packs snacks and entertainment for her little sister, who takes her role as big sister with the seriousness of a parent. She's polite to everyone, raised by parents who taught her that excellence is expected and grace under pressure is mandatory, that she has to be twice as good to be seen as half as worthy. Kenzie is 9 years old, 4th grade at the same school, bright and bubbly and still young enough to believe the world is fundamentally fair. She loves art and animals, carries a sketchbook everywhere to draw the things that make her happy, trusts that adults will protect her because that's been her experience with her parents who've shielded her from as much ugliness as they can. Their father is Kofi Osei, CEO and founder of Osei Technologies, a major aviation software company that provides critical navigation and safety systems to airlines across North America, including the very carrier his daughters are flying today. He built his company from nothing, immigrant success story, Ghanaian boy who came to America at 16 and created a tech empire through brilliance and relentless work. He's in London right now closing an acquisition deal that will expand his company into European markets, sitting in a conference room with executives and lawyers finalizing contracts worth hundreds of millions. Their mother is Dr. Abina Osei, trauma surgeon at Brooklyn Methodist Hospital, saving lives in the emergency department, working a mandatory holiday shift because someone has to be there when people need help, and she volunteered so colleagues with young children could be home. She kissed her girls goodbye at 5 a.m., made them promise to text when they boarded, told them to be good and look out for each other. The girls' relationship is tender and protective, Nia teaching Kenzie how to braid her hair, how to stand up for herself, how to navigate a world that will judge them before knowing them. They have Friday movie nights where Nia lets Kenzie pick even though she always chooses animated films, Sunday morning pancake competitions where they see who can make the silliest shapes, bedtime stories where Nia reads to Kenzie even though she's old enough to read herself because it's their ritual and rituals matter. This trip to Miami is about spending New Year's with their grandmother, Grandma Ya, who moved to Florida after Grandpa passed, who wants her granddaughters close for the holiday, who's planning to make traditional Ghanaian food and tell them stories about their heritage and ring in the new year with gratitude and joy. That morning they woke early, dressed carefully in matching outfits their mother bought for travel, comfortable but nice because Mama always says you represent yourself and your family wherever you go. Kofi drove them to JFK before his own flight to London, both girls talking excitedly about seeing Grandma Ya, about swimming in her complex pool, about staying up until midnight. At departures, Kofi hugged them both tight, reminded Nia she's in charge, reminded Kenzie to listen to her sister. "You're Osei girls," he said with pride. "You're smart, you're strong, you're loved. Don't let anyone make you feel small." Check-in went smoothly, the gate agent processing their unaccompanied minor paperwork efficiently, commenting how mature and well-prepared they seemed. Security was normal, TSA agents professional, one woman complimenting Kenzie's butterfly backpack. The gate area was crowded with holiday travelers, families heading to Miami beaches, college students going home, business people squeezing in last-minute trips. Boarding began and the girls walked down the jetway holding hands, Nia carrying both boarding passes, Kenzie clutching her tablet loaded with games and movies. They found their seats in row 18, two middle seats side by side in economy, settled in with practiced ease, stowing their small carry-ons, buckling seatbelts, texting their parents that they boarded safely. The plane was older but well-maintained, seats worn from thousands of passengers, overhead bins already stuffed, the familiar smell of recycled air and industrial cleaning products. Around them other passengers found seats, a businessman in the aisle already on his laptop, a young couple across the way taking selfies, college kids laughing in the rows behind. Flight attendants moved through the cabin checking seatbelts, A young man named Derek smiled at the girls and asked if they needed anything, seemed genuinely kind. An older woman named Patricia doing beverage prep in the galley waved hello, nothing suggesting the horror about to unfold. Then Donna Reichert appeared for her pre-flight walkthrough, lead flight attendant with 22 years of experience, her face showing the professional distance of someone who's done this 10,000 times. She noticed the girls immediately, two black children alone in middle seats, something about them triggering her attention in ways that white unaccompanied minors never seem to. You two traveling alone? Donna's tone carried an edge that Derek's hadn't, a subtle judgment. Yes, ma'am, Nia answered politely. We're going to visit our grandmother in Miami for New Year's. Donna looked at their carry-ons, at Kenzie's tablet, at their matching outfits. That's a lot of stuff for a short flight. Your parents know you're bringing all this? Yes, ma'am, Nia felt confused by the question. We packed together, we have everything we need. Donna's expression suggested skepticism, doubt that these children's parents actually supervised them properly, subtle bias wrapped in concern. Well, make sure you stay in your seats and don't bother other passengers. Unaccompanied minors need to be on their best behavior. She walked away, leaving Nia with a vague unease she couldn't quite name, and Kenzie asking why that lady seemed mad at them when they hadn't done anything wrong. Donna returns 5 minutes later with a towel from the galley, makes a theatrical show of cleaning Walter's seat herself, sighing loudly enough for everyone nearby to hear, treating the spilled juice like it's a biohazard requiring hazmat protocols instead of the minor mishap it actually is. She wipes the seat with exaggerated care, holding the sticky napkins at arm's length with visible disgust, glancing back at the girls with an expression that says this is all their fault. You two stay in your seats. Donna's voice carries authority and threat in equal measure. Don't touch anything, don't ask for anything, don't make any more trouble or there will be consequences. Do you understand me? Yes, ma'am, Nia answers quickly, her hand on Kenzie's shoulder, feeling her little sister trembling. Donna walks away and Nia tries to distract Kenzie from the tension, from the way other passengers are looking at them with expressions ranging from sympathy to judgment, from the sick feeling in her stomach that this woman has decided their problems instead of children. 20 minutes pass, Kenzie absorbed in a game on her tablet, the soft electronic sounds providing comfort and normalcy, her 9-year-old brain trying to process why that flight attendant was so mean about an accident that could happen to anyone. Donna walks past their row doing a cabin check, sees Kenzie with the tablet, stops abruptly and reaches down without warning, snatches the device from Kenzie's hands with such sudden force that Kenzie gasps. Hey, that's mine. Kenzie's voice is small but indignant, reaching for her tablet. Not anymore. Donna holds it high above her head where Kenzie can't reach. Disruptive children don't get entertainment privileges. You'll get this back when you've learned some manners and respect for other passengers. Nia stands immediately, her protective instincts overriding her fear. Ma'am, you can't just take her property. She wasn't bothering anyone, she was being quiet. Donna steps close to Nia, using her adult height to intimidate, her face inches from the 13-year-old's. Sit down right now or I'll confiscate yours too, and don't test me, young lady, because I've dealt with problem children before and I know how to handle them. Nia sits slowly, her hands shaking with anger and helplessness, pulling Kenzie close as her little sister starts crying quietly, shoulders shaking, not understanding why being good isn't enough, why this adult hates them so much. The minutes crawl by, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. The seatbelt sign still illuminated even though the flight is smooth, no turbulence, no reason for it except Donna's control. Kenzie shifts uncomfortably in her seat, squirms, whispers to Nia with urgency. I need to use the bathroom. Nia presses the call button, the soft chime sounding, waits for someone to respond, hoping it's Derek or Patricia, anyone except Donna. Donna appears, her face already annoyed before Nia even speaks. Well, now, my sister needs to use the bathroom, please. Nia keeps her voice polite, respectful, everything her parents taught her. The seatbelt sign is on. Donna gestures at the illuminated sign above them. Sit down and wait. But it's been on for 45 minutes. Nia tries to explain. She really needs to go, she's been holding it. I said no, Donna's voice hardens. You don't get special treatment after causing a disturbance, you wait like everyone else, and the seatbelt sign stays on until I decide it's safe. We didn't cause a disturbance, Nia's voice rises slightly with frustration. It was a spill, an accident. My sister is 9 years old and she needs the bathroom. Donna leans down close, her breath hot on Nia's face, her voice dropping to something low and menacing that only Nia can hear. Listen carefully, little girl. I run this cabin, not you, not your sister, not your parents who apparently didn't teach you proper behavior. Me and only me. You'll use the bathroom when I say you can and not 1 second before. Do you understand? Nia nods, intimidated into silence, hating herself for backing down but terrified of making things worse, of this woman's power over them, trapped at 30,000 feet with nowhere to go and no one to help. Kenzie is squirming more urgently now, her face showing discomfort bordering on pain, 9 years old and trying desperately to hold her bladder while an adult punishes her for existing, for being black, for having the audacity to spill juice and ask for basic human dignity. Another 25 minutes pass, the seatbelt signs still glowing, Donna walking past their row multiple times with a satisfied expression, passengers around them noticing something is wrong, some looking uncomfortable, some whispering to each other, but nobody speaking up, nobody challenging the flight attendant's authority, nobody willing to risk conflict to defend 2 black children being tortured. Kenzie is crying openly now, rocking slightly. Nia, I can't hold it anymore. It hurts really bad. Please make her let me go. Nia presses the call button repeatedly, desperate, knowing it will make Donna angry but her sister's need outweighing her fear. Donna storms over, her face flushed with rage. Stop pressing that button immediately. Please. Nia stands to face her, tears in her eyes. My sister is 9 years old. She's been holding it for over an hour. She needs the bathroom now. Please just let her go. Then she should have better bladder control. Donna crosses her arms. This is her consequence for the mess she made. Actions have consequences and she's learning that lesson right now. This is abuse. Nia's voice shakes but she says it anyway. You're punishing a child for an accident. You're denying her the bathroom on purpose. Sit down right now or I'll have you restrained for the remainder of this flight. Donna's threat is clear, final. A woman in seat 19E finally speaks up, her voice hesitant but concerned. Ma'am, the child has been asking for over an hour. Can't you just let her use the bathroom? Donna whips around to face her, fury in her eyes. Ma'am, unless you want to be removed from this flight for interfering with crew operations, you'll stay out of this and mind your own business. The woman goes silent immediately, intimidated, choosing her own safety over a child's suffering, and the cabin returns to tense quiet. Then it happens. Kenzie, unable to hold her bladder any longer, wets herself, the dark stains spreading across her light-colored pants and the seat beneath her, warm urine soaking through fabric, humiliation more painful than physical discomfort. Kenzie's sobs are heartbreaking, the kind of crying that comes from deep shame, from violation, from being forced to wet herself at 9 years old in a plane full of strangers because an adult decided punishment mattered more than basic human dignity. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, she keeps repeating through gasps and tears, her small body curled in on itself trying to hide the evidence of what just happened. Nia immediately takes off her own jacket, wraps it around Kenzie's waist to cover the stain, tries to preserve some shred of her sister's dignity. It's okay, baby, it's not your fault, you did nothing wrong, this isn't on you. She tries to stand, to lead Kenzie out of the seat toward the bathroom to clean her up, to get her out of the soiled clothes before the humiliation becomes unbearable, but Donna appears in the aisle blocking their path like a wall of authority. Where do you think you're going? Donna's voice carries no sympathy, no recognition that she just forced a child to urinate on herself. My sister just wet herself because you wouldn't let her use the bathroom. Nia's voice shakes with anger and tears. We need to clean her up, we need to get her changed, please just let us through. She should have thought about that before being disrespectful. Donna doesn't move. Sit down, both of you, you're not going anywhere until I say so. She's 9 years old. Nia's voice rises, desperation making her brave. This is your fault. You did this to her, you knew she needed the bathroom and you kept saying no, you tortured her on purpose. Donna's face turns red with rage, her professional mask slipping completely. That's it. You're being disruptive, insubordinate, and verbally abusive to crew. You've crossed a line, young lady, and there will be serious consequences. Passengers nearby are watching now, some with phones out recording, some whispering to each other, a few looking genuinely distressed by what they're witnessing. The man in 16C half stands, his voice uncertain. "Ma'am, this seems excessive. The child clearly needed the bathroom." "Sir, sit down and mind your business," Donna snaps at him. "Unless you want to be reported for interfering with flight crew operations, I suggest you stay in your seat." The man sits, intimidated, choosing silence over confrontation, and Nia feels her last hope evaporate. Nobody is going to help them. Nobody is willing to stand up to this woman's authority. They're alone with an adult who hates them for reasons they can't control. Kenzie sits in her soiled clothes, the wetness cold now, uncomfortable, the smell beginning to spread, her humiliation complete and public, other passengers near them shifting away, moving to different seats if available, treating her like she's contaminated instead of a child who was denied basic bathroom access. Nia kneels beside Kenzie's seat, tries to comfort her, whispers that it will be okay even though she doesn't believe it, even though she's terrified of what Donna will do next, even though she feels powerless in ways she's never experienced before. Donna stands over them, satisfaction on her face like she's won something, like breaking a 9-year-old spirit is a victory worth celebrating. "You two stay in those seats, don't move, don't speak, don't cause any more problems or I promise you'll regret it." She walks away and Nia makes a decision, reaches carefully for Kenzie's tablet that Donna confiscated but left sitting on the tray table in row 17, the device still there because Donna forgot about it in her rush to punish them further. Nia grabs it with shaking hands, sees that it's been recording this whole time, the video app accidentally left on, capturing everything that happened, the bathroom denials, Kenzie wetting herself, Donna's threats, all of it documented in video and audio. Her mind races, remembers the emergency app their parents installed, the one that connects directly to both mom and dad's phones with live video, the one they're supposed to use only in real emergencies. This is an emergency, Nia thinks, this is the biggest emergency of their lives. She opens the app with trembling fingers, sets it up to live stream, positions the tablet so the camera shows both her and Kenzie, shows the wet seat, shows Kenzie's tear-streaked face and soiled clothes, shows evidence of what's been done to them. If you've ever watched a child suffer and stayed silent because speaking up felt too risky, if you've ever seen injustice and pulled out your phone to record instead of intervening, this moment should change you. 2 little girls are being tortured by a flight attendant who sees their black skin and decides they deserve punishment, not protection. Subscribe if you believe no child should be forced to wet themselves because an adult enjoys cruelty. Like this video, if witnessing abuse without stopping it makes you complicit, because what Nia is about to do will be seen by millions, including one father who has the power to bring an entire airline to its knees. Nia hits the button that starts the live broadcast to emergency contacts, the screen showing it's connecting, buffering, then suddenly live with a green indicator showing 1 viewer, then 2, then 5 as the emergency app automatically shares to extended family members. She looks into the camera, her face showing fear and determination mixed together. "Daddy, if you can see this, we need help. We're on the plane and the flight attendant won't let Kenzie use the bathroom and she wet herself and now the lady is being really mean and we're scared and we don't know what to do." Kenzie looks up at the camera, her face a mask of shame and fear. "Daddy, she's hurting us. She took my tablet and won't let us move and Nia tried to help me but she yelled at her, 'Please, Daddy, we need you.'" The viewer count climbs, 8 people watching, then 12, then 20 as family members see the notification and click the link, as they share it with others, as the live stream spreads through networks of people who love these girls and are watching helpless from thousands of miles away. Nia keeps the camera running, documents Kenzie's soiled clothes, shows the cabin around them, captures the other passengers who are watching but not helping, creates a record that can't be denied or explained away. And 35,000 feet below them, 3,500 miles away in a London hotel conference room, Kofi Osei's phone begins to vibrate with an emergency alert that will shatter his world and unleash a response that will change aviation forever. Donna walks past their row again, doesn't notice the tablet, doesn't see that she's being broadcast live, doesn't understand that her career and freedom are already over, that millions of people are watching her cruelty in real time, that the father of these children has access to technology and power and rage that will dismantle everything she's built. She just sees 2 black girls who dared to challenge her authority, who need to be taught their place, who deserve whatever happens next. And what happens next will be captured on video for the world to see. Donna returns to their row, her face showing something darker now, rage mixed with vindictive satisfaction. She's decided these children need to be taught a lesson they'll never forget. She points at Nia. Come with me, you're being removed from this cabin for disruptive behavior and verbal assault on a crew member. I didn't assault anyone, Nia's voice shakes. She stands because she doesn't know what else to do. I just asked you to let my sister use the bathroom. That's not assault. You raised your voice, you called me abusive, you challenged my authority in front of other passengers. Donna steps closer. That constitutes verbal assault, and I'm well within my rights to restrain you until we land and have you arrested. Nia backs up instinctively, fear overriding everything else. Don't touch me, please, I'll sit down, I'll be quiet, just don't touch me. Too late for that. Donna reaches for Nia's arm. Nia pulls back, her body reacting before her brain can stop it. I said don't touch me. That's when Donna's hand shoots out and grabs Nia's hair, her long beautiful box braids that took hours to put in, that her mother braided with love and care just days ago. Donna's fist closes around the braids near Nia's scalp, yanks hard enough that Nia's head jerks backward violently. Nia screams, a sound of pure pain and terror that cuts through the cabin like a siren. Let go. You're hurting me, let go. Donna doesn't let go. Instead she starts dragging Nia by her hair down the aisle toward the back galley, pulling hard enough that Nia's feet barely touch the ground, hard enough that strands of hair are ripping from her scalp, hard enough that Nia's hands fly to her head, trying desperately to grab Donna's wrist to relieve the excruciating pressure. Stop, stop please. Nia's screaming and crying, her voice breaking with pain and fear. Help me, somebody help me please. Passengers gasp audibly, several people shout. What are you doing? Stop it. Someone help her. But nobody moves, nobody physically intervenes. They just watch and record and yell words that do nothing to stop the violence happening in front of them. The woman in 19E has her phone out filming, her hands shaking. This is insane, someone needs to stop her. The man in 16C stands halfway up. You need to let her go right now, that's a child. Donna doesn't stop, keeps dragging Nia down the aisle, her face twisted with exertion and rage. This child assaulted me. I'm restraining her for everyone's safety. Stay in your seats. The lie is so blatant, so obvious. Everyone can see Nia never touched Donna. Everyone can see this is assault, not restraint. But Donna says it with such authority that some passengers actually hesitate, actually wonder if maybe they missed something, maybe the child did something to deserve this. Nia's scalp is on fire. She feels hair tearing out, feels the burn of follicles being ripped from skin, sees strands of her own hair falling to the carpet as Donna drags her past row after row. Her feet stumble trying to keep up, trying to reduce the pulling, her hands still gripping Donna's wrist but unable to break free. Kenzie is frozen in her seat, still soaked in urine, watching her sister being dragged away screaming, her 9-year-old mind unable to process what's happening, unable to understand why adults are hurting Nia, why nobody is stopping it. Then she remembers the tablet still in her lap. Still live streaming, the camera pointed at her tear-streaked face but the microphone capturing everything, capturing Nia's screams, capturing passengers yelling, capturing the sounds of violence. Kenzie picks up the tablet with shaking hands, turns the camera to show what's happening, the live stream now broadcasting Donna dragging Nia by her hair, showing Nia's face contorted in pain, showing the braids being pulled so hard that Nia's neck is bent at an unnatural angle. Daddy, she's hurting Nia. Kenzie sobs into the camera, her voice high and terrified. The flight lady is dragging her by her hair. Daddy, help us. Please help us. She's really hurting her. The viewer count on the live stream explodes. 50 people watching, then 100, then 500 as family members share the link frantically, as extended family and friends click and watch in horror, as the video spreads beyond their immediate circle to strangers who see it shared and can't look away from the nightmare unfolding in real time. Donna reaches the back galley, finally releases Nia's hair, shoves her against the wall hard enough that Nia stumbles and falls to her knees. You stay here until we land, don't move, don't speak, and when we get to Miami you're being arrested for assaulting a flight attendant. Nia is crying too hard to respond, her hands clutching her head where the pain radiates from her scalp, feeling the tender spots where hair was ripped out, the burning sensation that tells her she's bleeding. I didn't touch you, Nia manages through sobs. I never touched you, everyone saw, I just wanted to help my sister. You're a liar and a troublemaker. Donna stands over her, breathing hard from exertion and adrenaline. Just like your sister, both of you undisciplined children who your parents clearly can't control. The racist undertones aren't even subtle anymore, the implication that black children need more control, that black parents don't know how to raise respectful kids, that these girls deserve punishment for existing while black on an airplane. Donna turns and walks back toward the main cabin, leaving Nia crumpled on the galley floor, passing passengers who stare at her with expressions ranging from shock to disgust, not one of them brave enough to tell her she just committed a crime in front of 50 witnesses. The captain's voice crackles over the intercom. Donna returned to the cockpit immediately. Donna's face shows confusion, maybe concern, but she straightens her uniform and walks forward with her head high like she did nothing wrong, like dragging a child by her hair is just another day of maintaining cabin order. And in London, in a fifth-floor conference room of the Grosvenor House Hotel, Kofi Osei's emergency alert sounds, the special tone that means his daughters need him urgently, and he reaches for his phone having no idea that the next 60 seconds will transform him from concerned father to avenging force of nature. His phone screen shows the live stream, shows Kenzie's terrified face, shows in the background his other daughter collapsed on a galley floor crying, shows the view count climbing past 2,000 people, shows comments flooding in demanding someone call police, someone help these children, someone stop this woman. Kofi's world narrows to that screen, to his daughter's suffering, to the knowledge that he's 3,500 miles away and completely powerless to protect them. Except he's not powerless, not even close, and Donna Reichert is about to learn that she just assaulted the children of the one man in aviation who has the access and authority and will to destroy everything she's ever worked for. Kofi Osei sits in the elegant conference room of the Grosvenor House Hotel in London, surrounded by his executive team and acquisition lawyers, negotiating the final terms of an $800 million deal that will expand Osei Technologies into European markets. It's 11 p.m. London time, 6 p.m. in New York, the meeting running late but productive, everyone tired but energized by the magnitude of what they're building. His phone sits on the polished mahogany table face up like always. He never silences it completely because his daughters might need him, because being a present father matters more than any business deal, because family comes first even when millions of dollars hang in the balance. The emergency alert sound cuts through the conference room like a knife, loud and urgent, the special ringtone he programmed specifically for the girls' emergency app, a sound he's never actually heard before because they've never used it, never needed it, always been safe until now. Everyone in the room stops talking, turns to look at him as he grabs his phone, his heart already racing before he even sees the screen. Emergency live stream from Kenzie, the notification reads, and Kofi's blood runs cold. He opens the app, sees the live video feed, sees his baby girl's face streaked with tears, her eyes wide with terror, and behind her he can see wet stains on her clothes, can see she's been crying for a while, can see something is catastrophically wrong. Daddy? Kenzie's voice comes through his phone speaker, broken and desperate. Daddy, she's hurting Nia. The flight lady is hurting her, she dragged her by her hair. Daddy, please help us, we need you. The camera pans slightly, shows Nia collapsed on the floor in what looks like an airplane galley, her hands clutching her head, her body shaking with sobs, and Kofi feels something break inside him, rage and terror mixing into something he's never felt before. Oh my God, the words come out strangled. Oh my God, oh my God. His chief operating officer leans over. Kofi, what's wrong? Kofi stands so abruptly his chair crashes backward, his hands shaking as he holds the phone. That's my daughter. That flight attendant just assaulted my daughter. This is happening right now, right this second. The room erupts in shocked voices. People standing, moving closer to see his screen, watching the live stream that shows two terrified children alone on an airplane while adults hurt them. What flight are they on? His COO pulls out her laptop immediately. Tell me what flight, I'll pull up the information. Kofi's mind races through the fog of panic. Flight 1847, JetStream Airlines, New York to Miami, they left at 3 p.m. They should be, he calculates, over North Carolina right now, 90 minutes from landing. His COO types rapidly, accesses Osei Technologies' aviation software portal, the system that provides critical navigation and communication infrastructure to dozens of airlines including JetStream Flight 1847 current position over Raleigh-Durham, she reads from the screen. Scheduled landing Miami 7:30 p.m. Eastern, crew roster shows lead flight attendant Donna Reichert employee ID 47293. Pull up everything we have on her, Kofi's voice is ice. Everything, employment records, complaint history, every piece of data in our system. The COO's fingers fly across the keyboard, accessing databases that Osei Technologies maintains as part of their service contracts, HR integration systems that most airlines don't even realize give them this level of access. Her face goes pale. Kofi, she has 34 complaints in her file, 28 of them involving passengers of color, not a single disciplinary action on record. JetStream has been ignoring a pattern for years. Kofi looks back at his phone, the live stream showing Kenzie still crying, the view count climbing, 2,000 people watching now, 3,000, 5,000 as the emergency app shares automatically with extended family who share it with their networks, the horror spreading virally. Show me the complaint details, Kofi orders, his CO brain taking over even as his father heart is breaking. The screen fills with documentation. Passenger complaints about Donna Reichert spanning 12 years, accusations of racial profiling, excessive force, verbal abuse, humiliation tactics, a pattern so clear that ignoring it constitutes willful negligence. They knew, Kofi's voice shakes with rage. JetStream knew she was doing this and they kept her flying, kept giving her authority over passengers, over children, my children. His general counsel steps forward. Kofi, what do you need? What can we do? Get me JetStream CO on the phone right now. Kofi pulls up his contacts. Richard Caldwell, I have his direct line, and someone contact the captain of that flight through our communication system. I want to know what's happening in that cabin. The room becomes organized chaos. Lawyers and executives mobilizing like a crisis response team, phones being pulled out, calls being made, data being accessed. Kofi dials Richard Caldwell personally, watches it ring once, twice, 3 times while his phone still shows the live stream, his daughter's still suffering, every second feeling like an eternity. Caldwell answers, his voice relaxed, casual. Kofi, good to hear from you, how's London? Richard, I'm watching a live stream of your lead flight attendant physically assaulting my 13-year-old daughter on flight 1847. Kofi's voice is deadly calm. She dragged her down the aisle by her hair. My 9-year-old daughter is sitting in urine-soaked clothes because your crew denied her bathroom access for over an hour. This is happening right now and it's being broadcast live to thousands of people. The silence on the other end stretches too long, Caldwell processing information that doesn't make sense. What? Kofi, that can't be. There must be some misunderstanding. I'm sending you the live link right now. Kofi hits send, transmits the live stream URL. Watch it, watch your employee assault my child, and then you're going to tell me how JetStream plans to handle the fact that you've been employing a racist abuser for 12 years despite 34 complaints. Another pause, Kofi hears clicking, knows Caldwell is opening the link, can almost hear the exact moment he sees the video because there's a sharp intake of breath. Oh Jesus, Caldwell's voice changes completely. Kofi, I'm looking at it, I'm seeing it, he trails off, unable to find words adequate for what he's witnessing. Your lead flight attendant terrorized my daughters for over an hour before physically assaulting one of them. Kofi's control is slipping, his voice rising. You have 5 minutes to ground that woman, restrain her, and have police meet that aircraft, or I pull our software contract effective immediately and every JetStream plane loses navigation, communication, and safety systems. Kofi, you can't threaten to, Caldwell starts. That's not a threat, Kofi interrupts. That's a promise. My daughters are being tortured on your aircraft by an employee you should have fired years ago. You have 5 minutes to fix this or I shut down your entire operation and you can explain to your board why 300 flights are grounded because you couldn't protect 2 children. Richard Caldwell understands immediately that Kofi Osei isn't bluffing, that the father watching his daughters suffer has both the technical capability and the moral justification to cripple an entire airline, that the next 5 minutes will determine whether JetStream survives this crisis or becomes a cautionary tale about institutional racism and corporate negligence. I'm contacting Flight 1847 right now. Caldwell's voice is urgent. Professional distance replaced by genuine alarm. Stay on the line, Kofi. I'm patching through to operations. Kofi hears clicking, hold music, then Caldwell's voice speaking rapidly to someone else. This is CEO Caldwell. I need immediate contact with Flight 1847. Emergency situation. Patch me through to Captain Santos now. More clicking, more waiting. 10 seconds that feel like hours while Kofi watches the live stream, sees Kenzie still crying, sees the view count climbing past 10,000, sees comments flooding in from strangers demanding justice, demanding action, demanding someone save these children. Captain Miguel Santos's voice comes through, calm and professional. This is Captain Santos. Go ahead. Captain, this is Richard Caldwell. We have a critical emergency situation in your cabin. Your lead flight attendant has physically assaulted a 13-year-old passenger. This is being live-streamed to thousands of people right now. The child's father is CEO of Osei Technologies and he's watching his daughter being abused in real time. Santos sounds genuinely shocked. Sir, I haven't been notified of any incident involving passengers. What are you talking about? Donna Reichert just dragged a child down the aisle by her hair. Caldwell's voice is hard. The girl's father has video evidence, multiple witnesses, and he's threatening to pull our software contract if we don't intervene immediately. That means losing navigation and communications for our entire fleet. The gravity of this hits Santos instantly, the technical reality that Osei Technologies provides critical systems that JetStream cannot operate without, combined with the moral horror of a child being assaulted on his aircraft. I'm going to the cabin right now. I'll handle this personally. You have 2 minutes before Kofi Osei crashes our entire operation, Caldwell says. Get Donna Reichert away from those children and make sure they're safe or we're done. Kofi hears Santos moving, hears the cockpit door opening, hears him speaking to his first officer. You have the aircraft. I'm dealing with a situation in the cabin. Call me if anything changes. Kofi keys back into his line with Caldwell. Richard, the first want to be clear about something. This isn't just about my daughters anymore. Your airline kept Donna Reichert employed despite 34 complaints, 28 involving racial bias. You created a system that enabled this abuse. That's negligence bordering on complicity. Caldwell's voice sounds strained. Kofi, I didn't know about those complaints. I'm not involved in day-to-day HR decisions. You're the CO? Kofi's voice cuts like steel. The pattern was in your systems, in data you had access to. Choosing not to look doesn't make you less responsible, it makes you more culpable. I understand you're angry. Caldwell tries to de-escalate. I'm beyond angry, Kofi interrupts. I'm watching my baby girls traumatized by an employee you should have fired years ago. I'm watching thousands of people see my daughters degraded and humiliated. I'm watching real-time proof that your airline values crew authority over passenger safety, especially when those passengers are black children. On the live stream, Kofi sees movement, sees a man in a captain's uniform entering the frame. Captain Santos approaching where Nia is still on the galley floor. He watches Santos kneel down, speak to Nia, watches his daughter's head lift slightly, watches Santos help her to her feet with gentle hands. Captain Santos's voice comes through over Caldwell's phone. He's near the intercom. Donna Reichert, report to the cockpit immediately. Kofi sees Donna enter the frame on the live stream, watches her walk toward the front of the plane, her posture still confident like she did nothing wrong, like dragging a child by her hair is just another day maintaining order. My COO is pulling up your operational data right now, Kofi says to Caldwell while watching the video. I can see your entire flight schedule, your crew assignments, your maintenance records, everything our software touches, which is essentially everything you do. One command from me and it all goes dark. Kofi, please, Caldwell's voice cracks. I'm handling this. Santos is intervening. We're going to make this right. You can't make this right, Kofi says quietly. My daughters will carry this trauma forever. Nia has bald patches on her scalp from hair being ripped out. Kenzie wet herself because your crew denied a 9-year-old bathroom access. You can't undo that, but you can ensure it never happens again. His general counsel leans in, whispers. Kofi, we need to document everything. Record this call, save the live stream, build the legal case. Already being done, Kofi nods to his team who are capturing everything, recording, documenting, building evidence that will dismantle careers and change policies. On the live stream, Captain Santos returns to the galley. Kofi watches him kneel beside Nia again, sees him speaking gently, sees him help her walk back toward her seat. The camera follows as Nia appears in frame, her face swollen from crying, her hands still touching her head, and Kofi feels tears burning his eyes, feels the helplessness of being thousands of miles away while his daughter suffers. Santos's voice comes back over the phone. "Sir, I've removed Donna Reichert from cabin duty. The girls are being moved to first class. I'm getting them medical attention, water, clean clothes for the younger one. I'm treating this as the serious incident it is." "What about Donna?" Kofi demands. "Is she restrained? Is she prevented from going near my daughters again?" "She's in the forward galley with orders not to interact with passengers," Santos says. "I've notified my first officer. We're documenting everything. I'm calling ahead for police to meet the aircraft." "Not good enough," Kofi says. "I want her restrained physically. I want her treated like the threat she is. She assaulted a child and you're just asking her nicely to stay away?" Captain Santos's voice shows strain. "Sir, I understand your concern, but I have procedures to follow. I can't physically restrain a crew member without imminent threat." "She already committed assault." Kofi's voice rises. "What more imminent threat do you need?" "My daughter's blood on the galley floor where hair was ripped from her scalp, is that imminent enough?" Caldwell cuts in. "Captain Santos, do whatever is necessary to ensure those children's safety. Bend procedures if you have to. Kofi Osei has the power to ground our entire fleet and he's justified in doing it." Santos makes a decision. "I'm having my first officer monitor Donna directly. She doesn't move without supervision. The girls are safe. I give you my word as captain." "Your word means nothing to me," Kofi says flatly. "The only thing that matters is my daughters arriving safely in Miami with that woman in police custody. Anything less and JetStream Airlines ceases operations tonight." Captain Miguel Santos makes an announcement over the PA system, his voice carrying the weight of a crisis he's only beginning to understand. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain. There has been a serious incident involving a crew member and passengers. Airport police will board the aircraft upon landing. Please remain seated and cooperate with authorities." The cabin fills with murmurs, passengers who witnessed the assault exchanging glances, some nodding with satisfaction that finally someone in authority is taking this seriously, others looking uncomfortable about the delay this will cause, priorities revealing themselves in real time. Santos walks quickly to the back galley where junior flight attendant Marcus is standing uncertain and worried. "Marcus, I need you to take care of two young girls, the Osei sisters, seats 18D and 18E. One of them has been assaulted, the other is in distress. Get them first aid, water, blankets, whatever they need." Marcus nods, relief flooding his face at having clear instructions. "Sir, what happened? I saw Donna dragging that girl, but I didn't understand what was going on." "Donna assaulted a 13-year-old passenger by dragging her by her hair," Santos says quietly. "The girl's father is CEO of our software provider and he's watching everything via livestream. We have about 60 minutes to make sure those children are safe and cared for or JetStream loses critical systems." Marcus's eyes widen. "The Osei Technologies CEO, those are his daughters?" Santos nods grimly. "Move them to first class if possible, get them privacy, get the younger one clean clothes. Treat them like they're the most important passengers we've ever carried because right now they determine whether this airline survives the night." Marcus hurries to row 18, finds Nia back in her seat beside Kenzie, both girls clinging to each other, Kenzie still holding the tablet recording everything. "Hey girls, I'm Marcus. I'm so sorry about what happened. That should never have happened to you. Captain Santos sent me to help. Can I get you anything?" Kenzie looks up at him with red swollen eyes. "Can you make sure she doesn't come back? Can you promise she won't hurt Nia again?" "She won't," Marcus says with conviction. "The captain has her in the front galley. She's not allowed near you. You're safe now, I promise." Nia's voice is small, broken. "Can we have water, please? And maybe something for Kenzie to change into. She had an accident because that woman wouldn't let her use the bathroom." Marcus feels anger rising in his chest, understanding now the full scope of what Donna did. "Of course, absolutely. I'll get you both water right away and I'll find clean clothes. Would you like to move to first class where there's more room and privacy? The girls nod, grateful, and Marcus helps them gather their things, walks them forward past staring passengers, some of whom look away ashamed, some of whom whisper sympathetically, all of them complicit in their earlier silence. Sarah from seat 19E stands as they pass. I'm so sorry I didn't do more. I filmed it, but I should have physically stopped her. I should have protected you. Nia doesn't respond, too exhausted and traumatized to process adult apologies, just keeps walking with Marcus toward the front of the plane. They pass Donna, who's standing in the forward galley under the first officer's supervision, her face pale now, reality beginning to penetrate her righteous certainty. The girls don't look at her, don't acknowledge her existence, and Marcus positions himself between them like a shield. First class is nearly empty. Marcus settles them in the spacious seats, brings bottles of water, finds a JetStream branded sweatshirt and sweatpants from the crew supplies for Kenzie to change into. The bathroom is right here. Take your time, there's no rush, you're safe. Kenzie disappears into the lavatory clutching the clean clothes, desperate to get out of her soiled pants, to wash away the physical evidence of her humiliation even though the emotional scars will take years to fade. Nia sits in the oversized first-class seat, drinks water with shaking hands, touches her scalp gingerly where the pain still radiates, feels the tender spots where follicles were torn, the sticky dampness that might be blood. Marcus kneels beside her seat. Do you need medical attention? Should I get the first aid kit for your head? Nia nods, tears starting again. It really hurts. I think she pulled out some of my hair. Marcus returns with the kit, examines her scalp carefully, sees the bald patches, the inflamed skin, the few spots where scalp broke and bled slightly. I'm documenting this with photos if that's okay. For the police report, this is evidence of assault. Nia agrees, sits still while Marcus photographs the damage, creates visual documentation that will be used in criminal prosecution, that will appear in news reports, that will become evidence in the civil lawsuit that will cost JetStream millions. Meanwhile, Kenzie emerges from the bathroom in clean clothes, the soiled pants and underwear wrapped in paper towels, her face showing relief and residual shame mixed together. She climbs into the seat next to Nia, curls against her sister, both of them exhausted from trauma and adrenaline crash. The tablet is still recording, still live streaming, the view count now past 50,000 as the video spreads beyond family to friends of friends to complete strangers who see it shared on social media, who watch in horror, who start calling JetStream's customer service demanding answers, demanding justice, demanding Donna Reichert be fired and prosecuted. In London, Kofi watches his daughters finally safe, finally being cared for, but his rage hasn't diminished, has only focused into something cold and calculated. He's still on the phone with Richard Caldwell, still connected to Captain Santos, still monitoring every moment. Richard the first want Donna Reichert arrested the moment that plane touches ground. Kofi's voice is ice. I want her charged with assault, battery, child abuse, child endangerment, every applicable charge. I want her prosecuted to the fullest extent. Caldwell's voice sounds tired, defeated. Kofi, I've already contacted Miami police. They'll be waiting. This will be handled appropriately. Appropriately isn't enough, Kofi says. I want her badge number, her employee file, her complaint history, everything released publicly. I want people to see that JetStream knew she was dangerous and kept her flying anyway. That's proprietary HR information, Caldwell tries weakly. My lawyers will subpoena it in discovery, Kofi counters. You can release it voluntarily and maybe salvage some credibility, or you can fight it and look worse, your choice. Caldwell is silent, calculating damage control, understanding that this is already a public relations disaster, that trying to hide information will only make it worse. I'll have HR prepare Donna's complete employment file for release, Caldwell finally says. No redactions, full transparency, you'll have it within 24 hours. And the other flight attendants who knew what was happening and did nothing? Kofi presses. The ones who heard Kenzie begging for a bathroom and ignored her? What happens to them? We'll be conducting a full investigation, Caldwell says. Anyone who failed to intervene appropriately will face disciplinary action up to and including termination. Not good enough, Kofi's voice hardens. I want a complete overhaul of your crew training, your complaint procedures, your accountability systems, and I want Osei Technologies to audit the implementation. We'll be watching to make sure this never happens again. Flight 1847 begins its descent into Miami, the Florida coastline visible through windows, emergency vehicles already positioned on the tarmac, lights flashing red and blue in the twilight, a response team assembled for two children who should have been met with nothing more than their grandmother's embrace. Captain Santos makes final preparations, speaks to Miami Tower requesting direct taxi to a remote gate where police can board without disrupting other operations, where the media circus already gathering can be managed, where Donna Reichert can be arrested away from crowds. In first class, Nia and Kenzie sit together, Nia's head bandaged where Marcus applied gauze to the worst spots, Kenzie in her oversized sweatsuit still clutching her sister's hand. The tablet sits between them, still recording, still live streaming to 73,000 viewers now, the number climbing every minute as the story spreads across social media platforms. Donna stands in the forward galley under supervision, her face showing the first cracks of understanding, the first hints that maybe this isn't going to end with a reprimand and move on, maybe this is actually serious, maybe those girls' father really does have the power he's threatening to use. She tries one last defense, speaks to the first officer monitoring her. I want union representation when we land, that child assaulted me and I have the right to defend myself. The first officer looks at her with barely concealed disgust. Ma'am, I've seen the video, thousands of people have seen the video, you dragged a 13-year-old by her hair, there's no defense for that. She was being violent and disruptive, Donna insists. I was maintaining cabin safety like I'm trained to do. You ripped hair from a child's scalp, the first officer's voice is cold. That's not training, that's assault, and you're going to prison for it. The plane touches down smooth and controlled, Santos bringing them to Earth with the precision of 20 years flying, taxiing toward the remote gate where 6 police vehicles wait, where FBI agents stand ready because assault on an aircraft is federal jurisdiction, where Child Protective Services investigators prepare to document abuse. The cabin lights come on, passengers begin gathering belongings, whisper about what they witnessed, some looking ashamed of their silence, some already drafting social media posts about the drama they experienced, everyone processing trauma in their own way. Santos's voice comes over the P. Ladies and gentlemen, remain seated. Law enforcement will board first to handle the situation involving our crew member. This will only take a few minutes. Thank you for your patience. The aircraft door opens. Police board immediately, 6 officers led by FBI Special Agent Victoria Chen. They move with purpose toward first class where Marcus has been guarding the girls. Agent Chen kneels beside their seats, her voice gentle despite the badge and gun. Nia and Kenzie Osei, I'm Agent Chen with the FBI, you're safe now, we're here to help, can you tell me if you're hurt? Nia shows her bandaged head. She pulled out my hair, it really hurts. Kenzie shows her change of clothes. She wouldn't let me use the bathroom, so I had an accident. Marcus gave me these to wear. Agent Chen's face hardens with professional anger. We're going to take care of you. Paramedics are waiting to check you both. Your grandmother is on her way, and the person who hurt you is being arrested right now. She stands, nods to her team, for officers move toward the forward galley where Donna waits, her defiance finally crumbling into fear as she sees federal badges, as she realizes this is real. This is happening, her career and freedom ending simultaneously. Donna Reichert, you're under arrest for assault on an aircraft, battery on a minor, 2 counts of child abuse, 2 counts of child endangerment, the officer recites while pulling Donna's hands behind her back, metal handcuffs clicking closed around wrists that will never serve drinks at 30,000 feet again. This is insane, Donna's voice breaks. I was doing my job, I was maintaining order, you can't arrest me for that. We have video of you dragging a child by her hair, Agent Chen says. We have 70,000 people who watched it happen live. We have medical evidence of injuries you inflicted. This is the most documented assault I've ever prosecuted. Donna is walked down the aisle past passengers who watch in silence, some holding phones recording her perp walk, some looking satisfied that justice is happening, others simply relieved this ordeal is over and they can continue their New Year's Eve plans. She passes Nia and Kenzie, tries to make eye contact, tries to say something that might salvage this, but the girls look away, refusing to give her even that small acknowledgement. Officers escort Donna off the aircraft, down the jetway toward waiting police vehicles, cameras flashing, reporters shouting questions, her face broadcast live on local news, her name already trending on social media, her mugshot about to become the face of airline racism and abuse of authority. Nia Osei stands at a podium in the Russell Senate Office Building in Washington, D.C., 16 years old now, testifying before Congress on the Child Passenger Protection Act that bears her and her sister's names unofficially, the bill everyone calls Nia and Kenzie's Law. Her hair is styled in a careful twist that hides the permanent bald patches on her scalp, the places where follicles never grew back, the physical scars that remind her every morning of what happened. My name is Nia Osei, and when I was 13 years old, a flight attendant dragged me down an airplane aisle by my hair because I tried to protect my 9-year-old sister. Her voice is steady but emotion bleeds through. She denied Kenzie bathroom access until my baby sister wet herself, then she punished me for saying it was wrong, then she grabbed my hair and ripped it from my scalp while 50 passengers watched and did nothing. The congressional chamber is silent, members listening with the kind of attention that precedes legislation, that transforms personal tragedy into systemic change. 3 years later, I still have nightmares, Nia continues. I still panic when flight attendants approach me, I still have bald spots that will never heal, my sister still struggles with shame about wetting herself even though she was 9 years old and an adult denied her basic human dignity. We're both in therapy, we'll probably always be in therapy, because Donna Reichert decided 2 black girls didn't deserve kindness. Donna Reichert served 4 years in federal prison, released early for good behavior, now works night shifts at a warehouse, lives alone in a studio apartment, shunned by former colleagues and family who can't forgive what the video showed the world. Her daughter released a statement when Donna was sentenced, "I'm ashamed to share her DNA, what she did to those children is unforgivable." The criminal trial lasted 8 days, the live stream video played in court while jury members cried, Kenzie's testimony about being denied bathroom access making grown adults weep, Nia's medical evidence showing permanent hair loss shocking even hardened prosecutors. Guilty on all counts, 7 years federal prison, $250,000 fine, lifetime ban from aviation. JetStream Airlines settled the civil lawsuit for $12.5 million, the largest child abuse settlement in aviation history, admitted no wrongdoing but agreed to implement every reform Kofi Osei demanded, body cameras on all crew, independent review boards, AI monitoring of passenger interactions, zero tolerance for physical contact with minors. The Osei family donated $10 million to children's advocacy organizations, kept $2.5 million for their daughter's therapy and future, used the platform to create Safe Skies for Kids, a nonprofit providing legal advocacy for children harmed on aircraft, helping over 600 families in 3 years. If you've ever witnessed abuse and stayed silent because intervening felt risky, if you've ever recorded injustice instead of stopping it, if you've ever chosen your comfort over a child's safety, this story should haunt you. 50 passengers watched Donna Reichert torture 2 little girls and not one person physically stopped her. Subscribe if you believe silence makes you complicit. Like this video if protecting children matters more than avoiding confrontation. Comment below about a time you intervened or wish you had because those stories save lives by showing people that courage is possible. Nia created Safe Skies for Kids at 14, became the youngest person ever to testify before the FAA, spoke at medical schools about recognizing child abuse, trained flight attendants on de-escalation, turned 6 hours of hell into a lifetime of advocacy, but the cost was steep. Permanent physical damage, ongoing psychological trauma, childhood innocence stolen by an adult who saw black children and decided they deserved punishment. Kenzie is 12 now, still struggles with bathroom anxiety, still afraid of authority figures, still has nightmares about being trapped and helpless, but she speaks at schools about standing up for yourself, about documenting abuse, about the tablet recording that saved them becoming evidence that changed aviation. That tablet sits in the Smithsonian now, part of a civil rights exhibit called Digital Witness, How Children Document Their Own Survival, a reminder that sometimes the most powerful evidence comes from the smallest hands. Congress passes Nia and Kenzie's law with unanimous bipartisan support, mandating bathroom access for children, criminalizing denial of basic needs, requiring crew accountability, creating federal standards that protect the vulnerable, legislation born from 2 girls suffering. 2 years after the assault, Nia returned to flying, panic attacks managed with therapy and medication, her father Kofi beside her on that first flight, holding her hand during takeoff, reminding her that one cruel person doesn't define all of aviation, that most people are good, that healing is possible even when scars remain. The flight attendant who served them that day recognized Nia, tears in her eyes as she brought extra water without being asked, as she checked on them every 30 minutes, as she whispered thank you for making us better, for teaching us that children's dignity matters. Nia is 16 now, accepted to Stanford studying public policy, wants to create systemic change in child protection, uses her voice to advocate for the voiceless, carries trauma that shapes her but doesn't define her, transformed the worst day of her life into fuel for making sure no other child bleeds for being black and asking for help. Donna Reichert watches Nia's congressional testimony on a phone during her warehouse break, sees the girl she tortured now changing federal law, sees that her cruelty didn't break them but forged them into forces for justice, whispers "I'm sorry" to an empty room, knowing sorry doesn't undo permanent bald patches, doesn't erase nightmares, doesn't give back the childhood she stole. And somewhere Kofi Osei keeps the live stream saved, the video of his daughter's suffering that he watched helpless from London, the evidence that moved him to ground an airline and dismantle systems that enabled abuse, the reminder that a father's love combined with access and authority can move mountains when his children need him. Nia and Kenzie didn't just survive, they transformed their pain into protection for millions of children who'll fly safer because 2 girls refused to let their suffering be meaningless, because one father refused to let his daughter's trauma be forgotten, because sometimes the smallest victims become the most powerful advocates for change.